Hello, my name is Candice Sanderson, and I want to welcome you to my episode on dreams. This is episode number 8 in the series. In the last episode, I introduced different classes that we might attend during sleep. Most of the time, however, we do not remember being there, but that does not mean that we're not learning from them. One class is a beginner's class called the sleepers. I think that's where a lot of us go, but as we become more lucid in our dreams, we graduate. And there's probably an entire catalog of classes, but I can only speak about those that I have attended, those that I have firsthand knowledge about. I graduated from the sleepers class and I moved to an intermediate class called the Dream Seed class. Sometimes the messengers refer to that as the dreamers, but it's a step up from the sleepers class. The Dream Seed classes occur in the interface. That is a place that exists on either side of the veil being that interdimensional separation between the non-physical and the physical realms. As our earth transforms, evolves, transcends, the messengers have told me that this barrier thins. So now we have an area on both sides that gradually move into the dimensions. It makes it easier for people to actually drift into that space. And when they do, they're in a better position to communicate with the non-physical, just as non-physical entities can better reach into our territory to communicate. So it works both ways. Back to the classes. I had graduated from the sleepers class and I had moved to the Dream Seed class, but not before having a review class. That review class occurred over a couple weeks. Now, I didn't actually realize that in real time. It was only when the messengers explained this during a communication. I woke one morning and I heard this series of beeps and tones, and I immediately thought it was one of my electronic gadgets that needed my attention. A low battery, a notification, but something that was programmed to get my attention. But nope, that wasn't it. As soon as I realized it was not from this world, a message came. I was still in bed. I grabbed my phone, and this is what I dictated. The tones introduce new incoming energy patterns. The Dream Seed class has moved beyond the requisite review, and new material is introduced. This was an introduction. The beeps or tones are a form of communication using interdimensional echolocation, not unlike the echolocation of whales and dolphins. The tones prepare this one's energy body for advanced travel within our dimension. Deep interdimensional space is filled with energy that is much subtler and finer than what is found in the dream state. So now this new class is preparing me to engage awareness in something that is beyond the dream scene. Now, this is interesting. I've talked before about people using dreams as a platform to have an out-of-body experience, and this describes how and why. As we advance our dream studies, our energy bodies become acclimated to, as a messenger state, advanced travel. So this dreamers class was allowing me to experience even subtler energies than the normal or entry-level dream state. So let me get back to the message. In order for this one to navigate farther into our realm, she requires vibrational adjustments. These are performed by the tones. Just as tuning forks or drums produce sound waves that can be felt with the physical senses, Our tones move through the energy body to align the subtle energies in a pattern conducive with the vibrations deeper within our dimension. Her energy body will be more receptive to our frequencies, and she will be able to recognize and understand newer vibrational patterns. The new communication codes are finalized, but she is not yet able to translate or understand those messages. We are in the beginning stages of the process. As she spends more time in the dream state with us in the intermediate class, her vibratory nature will adjust and accommodate to the new frequencies introduced. And as her energy body adjusts to the newest vibrational patterns, input from other messengers will be understood. As part of the Dream Seed class, all light workers are prepared to understand other dimensional communications. When I first received this message, I really needed time to process it. In fact, until I read this first paragraph preparing for this episode, I didn't even realize that the messengers had just explained why lucid dreaming can be a launching pad for out-of-body explorations. The messengers explained the tones that I heard, like tuning forks or echolocation, produce sound waves. And as these vibrations move through my energy body, I am aligning with those subtler energies that are deeper in the dimensional spaces. Now, not long after that, the messengers talked about classes that were ongoing. Yes, ongoing. What I mean by that is they were not occurring just in dreams, but in the awake state. The messenger said that it's because of this fine tuning using echolocation that they could now connect during the waking state. Again, they're bringing up energy vibrations and frequencies and how powerful energy is in the non-physical realms. It's just as important in our world, in the 3D world, but so many times we don't recognize it. Once I started viewing the world through the lens of energy, I realized how key energy, vibrations, and frequencies were. Thoughts become things. Remember that old saying about sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? That is so untrue. But only when I became aware of the energy behind the words did I realize how painful those words can be. And of course, it's more than that. It's the feelings. You don't have to say unkind words. Just those thoughts will create discordant or disruptive energy patterns, and they shoot out through your body and affect your energy field beyond your physical body. And it doesn't stop there. It keeps going on and on. But on the flip side, I realized how healing and soothing our words can be. So I was beginning to realize how powerful this new Dream Seed class was, and how I was going deeper into the realms of the non-physical, all during sleep. Once I was in the intermediate class, messengers gave me assignments. Sometimes these would come during dreams, and other times during my waking state. Now that these new patterns within my energy field had been established, they drilled down on the importance of frequencies. Now, these messages are from early in my channeling, and at this time, I really didn't know about energy. These were some of my first lessons. These were the foundational teachings that persuaded me to view everything through the filter of energy. One of the first lessons was a spin-off from this information about echolocation. The messengers reiterated that new patterns had been established, kind of like a prerequisite for this level of class. One of the assignments was to learn to practice, and by practicing, I would understand the importance of using your imagination, of using imagery. It can be so powerful, but I used to think of imagination as a child's play, or maybe something that a scientist would think of using their imagination. They would come up with these wonderful inventions. But now I understand how key imagery is and your imagination is in life. Everything is energy, and that, of course, includes our thoughts. One thing that is interesting is they started telling me about what life was like on their side. They said that, quote, travel by setting an intention of the destination is easy. Travel occurs by setting an intention of the destination. You are immediately there unless you prefer a slower method such as floating. These are examples of intentions and the power of energy frequencies of those intentions. They then gave me tools for protection. Now, here's an aside. This is one thing I love about the messages. So many of these messages have turned into tools that we can use in our day-to-day lives. This was one of the first tools I received. If I connect with an energy system that I didn't desire, it doesn't feel right, or for whatever reason, I could block that connection. The messengers gave me an example. They had me imagine my body looking like a giant molecule with receptors, which molecules, of course, have. I could, quote, assign an energy system to a specific receptor at a specific location. If for some reason I didn't want that connection, it wasn't right, or it didn't feel good, or it wasn't right at the time, all I had to do was cover the receptor, plug it, and boom, the connection is gone. Now, let me read directly from them. If all spirit connections need to be blocked, the human can shield the entire energy body. It is very much the same for individual energies requiring blocking, but on a more specific level. Imagine the spirit's energy field as a beam of light approaching your energy field. Any means to block the path of that specific beam will be effective. Thoughts are energy. Energies will combine and follow the actions put forth by your thoughts. It is such a simple and easy process, yet the dense energies of the earth plane prohibit most humans from recognizing and acknowledging the power of energy associated with thoughts or intentions. This ended with the messengers giving me an assignment. I had to list 5 different scenes, visual scenes, to block unwanted spirit connections. I mean, of course I did it. It was fun. And I realized that anything I could imagine would work because, as they had shown me earlier, energy follows thought and actions follow energy. Okay, this is a good place to stop. So in another episode, we're going to hear directly from the messengers as they talk about the assignment. They tell me about how energy works in their dimension and how we see newer generations on Earth coming in with skills that surpass ours. And they said that is the thinning of the veil in action. So let me recap. During the dream state, we go places. It would be great to remember all of it, but quite often we do not. Just like in the sleepers class that all of us have been in or still are, it's the beginners class. We just show up and listen to lectures while we're sleeping. We still get the information, but we don't retain awareness of it. Now listen to my next statement because it's important. Just because we do not remember our dreams, it doesn't mean that they are not meaningful. We still gain and learn when we dream. Think about it. Our personalities, our egos are sleeping, so they're no longer at the helm. Instead, our true selves, our spirits, drift from our physical bodies and they interact in this beautiful field of energy where everything is united, everything is connected. So while the true self is out there in dreamland, if all we do is experience those beautiful frequencies and we come back, then we're in a better place. As a psychologist, I remember studies about people who either did not dream or in scientific conditions, they would block people from dreaming. When their rapid eye movement would begin, indicating they were dreaming, they would wake them. But what happens generally, they did not fare well the next day. But there were also long-term effects of not dreaming, memory loss, health problems, just that groggy feeling, anxiety. But we don't think of the benefits of dreaming unless we remember the dreams. Think again. Our spirit, our higher self floats in the non-physical realms. We relax. We recapitulate, something that I talked about in episodes 6 and 7. We release energies that we gathered during the day, but these are energies that don't serve us, so we let them go. So even if we don't remember the dream, we still benefit from it. So I'm going to stop talking and let you guys get ready for a good night's sleep. I want you to remember to dream on. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Feel free to subscribe, comment, and like. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. You can find my contact information on my website at CandiceSanderson.com. Until next time.